Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for providing this beautiful day at Channel Islands, although I did not expect to be in the hot seat. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming this afternoon to the official opening, the official launch of the CSU Channel Islands presidential search. In today's discussion, we'll briefly talk about the search process and provide an overview of how we expect to go forward from this point. But primarily, we are here to listen to you, to get your input with regard to the next president of Channel Islands. But first, I would like to ask the members of the committee to introduce themselves, and perhaps if we can start on the end with Lori. Is your mic working? Good idea. While we're taking care of these technical glitches, maybe we can start at the other end. I see.
Hi.
I think
I'm
this
Tim
one's
White,
working
I'm
now.
the Chancellor. Lori's working now?
Yep, got it going.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Lori Lamb, Vice Chancellor for Human Resources, here to support the work of the committee.
Good afternoon, Courtney Wilk. I'm a representative from the search firm.
Lars Walton, Chief of Staff to Chancellor White, serve as staff to the committee.
Katie Mitchell, representing the search firm.
Wiles, Faculty of Mathematics.
Gary Cushing, representing the Alumni and Friends Association.
Bill Kearney, representing the Foundation.
Simone Aloisio, faculty member in chemistry.
Bishop Roderick Huggins, St. Paul Baptist Church, representing the community.
Jeannie Greer, Faculty in Education and Chair of the Academic Senate.
Larry Norton, CSU trustee.
I'm Tim White. I serve as your Chancellor.
I'm Monique Grena, Student Representative.
Good afternoon, Lou Monville, CSU trustee.
Ria Fiddler, Confidential HR Assistant.
Dave Rodriguez, State President, LULAC.
Lillian Kimball, CSU trustee.
Good afternoon, Isabel Trinidad, CFO for the campus.
Lira Marishta, President, California State University, East Bay.
Saya Abrego, CSU trustee.
Good afternoon, Peter Taylor, CSU trustee.
All present and accounted for. Between now and the end of the year, Chancellor White and the search firm will be searching for qualified candidates to become president of this great university. They'll be working together to identify candidates and to seek out nominations. The full committee will review those resumes and select those candidates who will go to an interview before the full committee in February. And the final candidates that have been approved by this group will be interviewed by the CSU Board of Trustees in March. Before we go forward, I'd like to ask Chancellor White to talk a bit further about the process.
Thank you, Larry, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a delight to be back on the Channel Islands campus today. The position has been announced in short form on our websites, both the campus as well as my office and Isaacson Miller, the group that's helping us with the process. And short ads will also be dropping this upcoming week with respect to the Chronicle of Higher Education, diverse issues in higher education, and all of the publications and listservs that are known to us to attract potential candidates or nominees for this position. After today, after listening to your input today, as well as what input that comes in after today over the next week from this community with respect to the skills and experiences and values and vision that you hope to see in the next president at Channel Islands, we will create a much larger document for all to see a prospectus, if you will, an opportunities and challenges profile about the presidency at Channel Island. And that is shared, as I said, with everybody, but it's obviously of particular interest to the potential candidates so they can make a case for themselves as to how their skills and experiences and values align with what the community here in Channel Islands feels should be embodied in the next president. So that opportunities and challenge profile will be written by the group in front of you. And I encourage you to either contact any member. If you're a student, contact the president with your thoughts if you don't get them expressed here today. We also have a website that will get announced later on in the hour and is at all of our websites currently that indicates places where written input can come with respect to your thoughts about the future. Now, one of the things that is in the discussion today is our approach and why is it that we do it in a confidential way. And the reason is that I think we would all agree that our goal is to find the very best next president for Channel Islands. And we know from experience and we know from understanding the sorts of people we're trying to attract to this position that it has to be done in confidence. We will not be able to build a strong pool of semifinalists and finalists without having people apply and be considered and be nominated, but have that done in strict confidence. And I know for some that's a problem. Some people would rather have everybody to be known and be vetted by the entire campus. But the difficulty today is that the people that are highly successful and fully engaged in what they're doing today, maybe a president of another university somewhere in America, maybe a sitting provost or a dean of a large, complicated college of arts and humanities, or somebody of equal skill and experience from another discipline or sector who might be interested in this job or might be able to be convinced to be interested in this job, is currently doing very good work. So let's take the easy one. Let's take a sitting president at another university in America. They have built relationships on that campus with the Senate, with the student body, with the faculty writ large, with their coworkers, with donors, with chambers of commerce, et cetera, et cetera. And if they're in that relationship and they're interested in coming to Channel Islands, just on a basis of integrity and ethics, we can't ask that person to put their current job at risk in order to be a candidate here for Channel Islands. And it is for that reason and that reason alone, then, that we do this in a very confidential way. That we just simply don't want the president who's working on a major gift at Campus X in statewide to ruin that relationship, because the truth is we're going to be recruiting 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 or 15 people of that caliber, that high caliber into this search, and only one's going to get the job. We'll have 60, 70, 80 applicants, but the top tier will be less than 20. And we want to make sure that top tier is really stunning individuals. Has to be done in confidence. So then the related question is, well, gosh, Tim, isn't that a violation of your often stated commitment to being open and transparent, shared governance, shared leadership, as many of you know I like to call it? And my thoughts about that is it's actually an amazing example of a collaborative, open approach, in as much as the student has been elected by the students of this campus. Faculty Senate leaders have been elected by the faculty of this campus. The faculty members have been elected by the faculty of this campus. The staff person, the alumni person have all come from the campus's process. They got those names onto this committee. And so we believe in America in representative democracy. And so these are the representatives of those stakeholder groups. And through them, your voice will be heard. Through today's activities, your voice will be heard. Through input you might put in electronically, your voice will be heard. But it's going to be the people that sit in front of you today who will be the ones who will see every single name of every single person who is either nominated or applies for this job. And it is up to us then to take that bigger group of names and whittle it down to semifinalists that we will then meet in person, and from the semifinalists put forth the finalists in front of the entire Board of Trustees. So I just wanted you to be aware of why it is we go about this in a confidential way. It is really to protect the integrity of the process. It's to protect the careers of those we're trying to seek to become your next president, and it is to be reflective of the people that you've chosen to be the voices of all the stakeholders at Channel Island and in this community. So thank you, Larry, for that.
Okay. I'd like at this moment to exercise the prerogative of the chair, and in the interest of shared government, all those who are in favor of allowing people to take off their suit jackets, please raise their hand. Thank you.
All right, good.
How about the shirt? Oh, no, just kidding.
That's a guy who knows how to lead. Thanks, Larry.
We'll spend the next hour and a half, really listening to you, because we're very, very interested in your comments. You provide an invaluable set of comments that need to be reviewed by the committee as we go forward. So if any of you are interested in making a comment, I ask you to please come forward to one of the microphones at either side. And in the interest of trying to hear as many people as possible, if you would keep your comments focused on the topic of the afternoon, that would be helpful. Before doing that, however, we have one more comment from the Chancellor.
Katie Mitchell from Isaacson Miller has a few thoughts for us as well. Katie, sorry I jumped over you.
That's okay. Thank you, Chancellor. I think in addition to the comments that you shared today, we would welcome your feedback on what we should be looking for in the President through other forums. So for folks who don't get a chance to talk today or weren't able to make it, if you visit the Search website, which is available through the Channel Islands homepage, you can visit the Search website where there's a link to a confidential email address. If you send thoughts and comments to that email address on the qualities and skill sets you're looking for in the next president, those will be aggregated and reviewed confidentially by the Search Committee. So we would encourage you to do that. There's also a link to our website where there's an option to nominate potential candidates, and so we would encourage you to do that as well. You know this campus the best, so we'd really like your thoughts on individuals that might make a great fit for the next president.
Thank you, Katie, and just emphasize that we're interested in your views. What would success look like 5 years from now? What do you think the next person should emphasize that's currently going well? What areas that don't exist or aren't going as well as you'd like would require attention of the next president to ramp them up? What makes this place special, this institution, this university? What must be preserved? What must be changed? So this is being webcast as we speak, but it's also being archived. And so I just remind you that when you come up with your comment, you're actually making the very first impression on the next president, because based on experience, every serious candidate for this position will find this videotape, this 2-hour tape, and listen to it, and hear your voice, and see you, and hear what you have to say. So you're introducing yourself to the next president today. You just don't know who she or he is. With that, I'll turn it back to our fearless leader, Trustee Norton.
Well, then, as I said, if you have an interest in making a comment, if you'd come forward to the microphone. The brave soul who volunteers to be first will win a prize.
Here we go, we have one.
And the Isaacson Miller staff will be taking detailed notes of these conversations, and all of those will be provided afterwards to the members of the committee. Please.
Okay, so a free T-shirt would be a suitable prize.
Okay. And if you could begin by introducing yourself with your name and your affiliation or your connection to the university.
I'd be happy to do that. I'm Stephen Blum. I serve on the Ventura Community College Board of Trustees. I'm also on the State Board of Trustees for Community Colleges. My daughter is a graduate of this fine institution. Couple thoughts. First of all, I think you need a few more people on your committee. Secondly, whatever you've done in the past, you did right. The prior two choices that you made, Dr. Evans and Dr. Rush, were really good choices, so don't change a lot. You've chose well, continue to do that. Everybody wants somebody great. You've had that here. You want to continue that tradition. My comment would be, though, I think maybe the most underestimated, but one of the most important, if not the most important, quality of the two people you've had lead this institution in the past has been humility and a sense of public service. So keep those talents and traits high on your list and pick a good person. I'm sure you will.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes.
Hi, sorry. My name is Jill Schaefer. I'm the Executive Director of the Ventura County Leadership Academy here in the county. We have great pleasure to do a lot of collaborative efforts with Channel Islands, and what has always struck me is that every single individual that's associated with this university has this incredible ability to lead and be gracious. And I know for a fact, coming from a leadership academy, that it starts at the top, and it starts with someone who is real and who really exudes this authentic relational leadership style. And you can see it in every single person Dr. Rush has hired, every single person that's associated with the university. And that's, I think, the core of what makes this university great. We have Dr. Genevieve Evans Taylor, who is the Chief of Staff here and also on our steering committee. And we are always looking to her for her leadership and the mannerisms for which she leads, which is obviously the way this university is driving. So in addition to what Steve said, if it ain't broke, try to duplicate what you have, because you have done such a beautiful job so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Yes.
I'm Bill Little. I'm the mayor of Camarillo, and my purpose here today is to, representing the city council and the citizens, is simply to say that we have had a wonderful experience with the presidents of this university from its inception when it was just a dream 20 years ago. And it was because of those presidents that we have a great cooperative effort in a lot of ways as a city and as a group of, as our citizens enjoy the presence of this university close to itself. Our fates are kind of tied together now and in the future, so it's very important that this cooperation continue. And I would urge that you keep that as one of your key. I know there's other things involved. There's academics, administration, visionary, but community cooperation with the community that's nearest to this university would be, in my opinion, essential for success of both ourselves as well as the university. So we just urge you to keep that as a high on your list of qualities to be considered.
Larry.
Thank you, Bill. Yes.
Mr. Mayor, let me thank you for coming and speaking and representing your city today. What I can share with you as a member of the Board of Trustees who sees the relationships of all of our campuses with their community, I can't express how grateful we are for the commitment that Camarillo makes every day to the success of this institution, the partnership that you formed here. And I, for one, as someone who was born in Camarillo, it's nice to be home, and I appreciate the hospitality today. So thank you.
Oh, we're glad you're on the board selection. But honestly, it's been a truly a great relationship, and we want to continue that with the next president as successfully as we've done with President Rush and previous to them, President Evans. So thank you very much.
He actually has a parking ticket he wants to talk to you about.
Thank you, Bill. Yes.
Hi, I'm Natasha Pillai. I'm a second-year student here at CSU Channel Islands. And in talking to some of my fellow students, it's kind of timely that we're having the forum now, looking at current events. We've noticed this trend among universities of trying, I guess, to run the university like a business in spending more time looking at how to raise more revenue for the university rather than investing in education or in student well-being. For example, Tim Wolf, the ex-president of Missouri University, tried to cut off the University of Missouri Press while spending hundreds of millions of dollars on athletics. So what we're looking for in a presidential search is an assurance that that the president will have, the new president, his or her priorities will be on education, on student health and well-being, and not on raising revenue for the university. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, y'all. My name is Martin. I am a student here, junior, I think. And I just want to say good afternoon, y'all. And one of the biggest things that I actually think that this school should focus on is actually athletics. One of the biggest things is because athletics does drive passion. I remember when I was in high school, one of the reasons why I actually did well was because I had to make the grades to be on the team. That's one of the things I do think we need to focus on. Academics, obviously, you know, I do definitely see, I was reading the budget report. One of the things we were focusing on putting money into was a engineering program. Love it. Keep doing that, but definitely athletics. Now, I got to go take a midterm.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Caroline Dahl, and I'm a longtime employee of the university. And thinking about our next president, one of the things that, you know, people have said before that is President Rush is an exceptionally good communicator. He's very good at listening, and he's also very good at taking different views into consideration and making a good decision on them. He's also visionary. It's seeing opportunities for developing new programs and then figuring out ways to collaborate with our community partners and other partners to make those happen. So those are two of the qualities that I value in President Rush. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Jose Garcia. I work for the Labor's Union, Labor's International Union of North America. Labor's Local 585 Ventura, for some of us that know us here around. We've always dedicated ourselves to help the community because we are a part of the community, and we want the next president to keep in mind that some of these great buildings that you guys sit in now have been built by local people, and in turn, by giving great jobs, myself, I'm going to say I'm able to send my daughter to this university next year. So it works in a circle, if you think the circle of life, we call it. But Dr. Rush worked greatly with us. We assisted him on the fountain. We assisted him in the courtyard and with a lot of these great buildings. And we want that the next president, he or she, keep the labor in mind of the buildings to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jose. Yes.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Chavez. I'm a fourth-year student here. And something that President Rush and something that all the employees and students at CI have is something called the CI Way. And it's just being very personable and going that extra mile. And something that President Rush does now that I would love to see our next president do is be at our events, is be at our centers, be here, be for the students. Knowing President Rush's name and having President Rush know your name is something that's awesome here at CI. And so that's definitely something to consider. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, come now.
Hello, my name is Bill Canine, and I'm a retired Navy pilot, and I retired from Point Mugu, which is right down the street. For the last couple of years, we've been working with Dr. Rush and the faculty and the administrative staff, including the provost in particular, and we've been planning on expanding an engineering program here. And one of the principal things I believe that should be important is the continuation of the planning that's already started. The reason is that there is a definite need for engineers across the country, but particularly in Ventura County. And our vision is that we will take students from Ventura County, get them engineering degrees here, and have them go to work for the Navy. And the reason is that the Navy is expanding at Point Mugu and at Port Hueneme, and we need at least 50 engineers a year to fill out the ranks and to maintain the workforce. So Dr. Rush has been an inspiration here locally, and he's listened, and we expect to see this program continue. So we'd like to see somebody that has some appreciation for an engineering program. Thank you.
Larry?
Thank you, yes.
Bill, I know I'm a day late, but I'm mindful the day after Veterans Day to thank you for your service to our country.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm Colleen Delaney. I'm a professor of anthropology here at CI. I'm in my 9th year at Channel Islands, but I've been peripherally involved with the university since its opening. I have 2 points I'd like to bring to the attention of the committee. First is that some college presidents come from outside academia, and while it's good to have a good communicator and have someone who can fundraise, which is especially important today with our need of buildings, I think it's very important to have a college president who has significant experience in academia. So more than, say, just a year in the classroom and moved up into administration, but who's actually been in the trenches, understands the demands of students and faculty and staff. Secondly, as an anthropologist, community and culture is extremely important. And while many people here would agree that CI is a special place, I've taught at 8 institutions of higher institution, 3 of which on the tenure track. And CI really is a special place. And so I would like the committee to somehow find a way that in the process of formulating questions and interviewing them to really get at whether or not the candidate for president understands the 4 pillars of the institution and will really help carry on our view of collaboration, interdisciplinarity, service, and multiculturalism. Thank you.
Say, could I ask, technically, Justin, could you turn up? It's difficult to hear the people speaking. There's a fan back here, so just turn it up a little bit for us. It'd be at least helpful for my old ears.
Thank you, Colleen.
My name is David Press. I'm board member of the University Glen Corporation and former chair. I want to take the opportunity at this point to commend the trustees and Dr. Rush for the academic excellence that's been achieved at this university over the last decade. But I also need to make it clear that what University Glen Corporation does is create the revenue flow, which enables the programs and the buildings to be built to continue the academic excellence that we hope to achieve over the next several decades. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Further comments?
Sean Kelly, professor of political science. I want to echo, first of all, what Colleen said about the next president. The next president should not be an academic dilettante who went straight to the administrative track and doesn't have any significant experience as an academic with an academic record of his or her own. The second thing, again, to amplify something that Colleen has already said, this university has a really strong mission. If you on this panel have not read that mission, I encourage you to read it. It's short, don't worry. We focus on interdisciplinarity, on multiculturalism, on community service, and international learning. It's important that the next president make sure that those things are funded appropriately. At this point, as I've told anybody who was willing to listen, those things are not being funded at levels that reflect their importance in the mission of the university. This is not, by the way, a criticism of our president. I like President Rush as much as anybody does. But this is something that we have to fight for over these next few years, or we will lose our identity. So the next president needs to know that these are values that our faculty have, and that if we lose these values, we will lose anything that's left that's special about this place.
Thank you, Sean. Yes.
Hello, everybody. Oh, that's loud. My name is Leslie Lopez. I'm a third year here at CSUCI, and I would want to let the next president, future he or she, know that we are very interested to keep our Chicana Studies program. It is very small. It's a very small department now, but we would like to continue to see that program grow. As a HSI serving institution, we have a high demand of Latina students here, and we would like to see more faculty and more people in your position of people of color, and have our population be represented. And yeah, so that I want the next president to have that in mind and to keep the diversity going here and growing on campus.
Thank you, Leslie.
Hi, I'm Michelle Noyes. I'm a junior here, and I know the students would really love to have another president, as President Rush has, focusing really on students as the #1 priority here and pushing forward with the CI 2025 plan to make it have it become a reality while still keeping our tuition and fees low and affordable for students.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Valerie Sereno Paez. I've been at this university, have had the honor of being with this university for 8 years, serving in the Student Affairs Division for students with disabilities. I thank you for asking for our thoughts and feedback in regards to the candidate. For us, I think it's equally important not only to look at someone who is academic-based, but also, as Dr. Rush has upheld, the importance of student affairs. And so it would be, I would ask for you to please look at a candidate who not only is concentrating on academics, but also the student services, because that is the core of our mission, is to put the student at the center of their educational experience. And also to uphold the diversity of our university, such as serving students with disabilities, our veteran students, and our first-generation students. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie.
Hello, my name is Kayla Kim, and I am a second-year student. And I was just thinking that since we have been trying to uphold these original buildings and the outlook of our campus, making sure that our president coming in will be willing to uphold that again and to keep growing upon it and maybe restoring some of the things that we have on campus already, like the bowling alley and the courtroom, so that our students can grow upon that and also learn a little bit more about our history.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel Linares, and I'm the bursar here at CI. We know that Channel Islands is a special place, and as much as we want the rest of the world to know that, it's also important that we focus on the community that is here. I would hope that the next president has a plan for how we can make sure Ventura County high school graduates have a path to attend this institution in their own community, and that we focus on growing their opportunities for furthering their higher education here.
Thank you, Rachel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kirsten Moss, and I'm the Director of Multi-Access Programs and Student Life, and I'm also the co-director for the Center for Multicultural Engagement. And that is really a pride of our 4 pillars for me. It is a collaborative between student affairs and academic affairs. The emphasis that we place on multiculturalism here at CI is really crucial, and that partnership has been critical, I think, in terms of the communication that we have across campus and what we've been able to facilitate and leverage in terms of our resources. So would definitely want to see that continue, as well as having a president that really sees diversity as crucial to the success of all students on our campus, that is willing and sees strategies for hiring a diverse faculty and staff, and that also understands the needs of our local community and the unique CI students that we do have, and first-generation students as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Good afternoon. My name is Jody Skandarian, and I live here in Camarillo and have for about as long as the university has, about 14 years. And I work for the Girl Scouts of California. And I'm happy to say that every year we're able to use green space here on the campus for hundreds of young Girl Scouts who are emerging leaders in our community. And one thing that Dr. Rush has done over his leadership that we would love to see continued is his generosity. And so the saying goes, it's better to give than to receive. And obviously the university has received a lot in funding. And Dr. Rush and his leaders have allowed the campus to be utilized across the community. And we just hope to see that type of resource be available, especially to the nonprofit community. So thank you.
Thank you, Jody.
Hi, my name is Wendy Olson. I've been here since 2002. I think the same time that President Rush came on board. And I work as a professional development specialist here at the university. I just wanted to also take the time to say President Rush has been a wonderful leader, collaborator, and partner with everyone, with staff and faculty and students. But I also want to know that the next leader take a look at also staff development and succession planning for staff as our growth continues at a rapid pace and we continue to receive in more students. I believe that some staff resources need to also excel here at the same rate or anticipated rate of growth of students, because obviously without staff commitment and staff development, we can't assist our students properly. So I think that's a heavy reminder to the next leader that they really still should take a look at our staff resources to help overall. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Hello, my name is Patty Dang. I'm a career counselor here at the university for the last 4 years, and I think it's really important for our next president to be really considerate of our graduates. So obviously, as a career counselor, I'm thinking of where our students will be when they graduate from the university and that they have the skills necessary to be ready for the workforce that employers are looking for. And so a president who will help establish community relationships so that we can have a really strong workforce that doesn't have this gap that we are seeing in today's market, where they're missing some of these skills that they're not getting or they're not prepared for, and a president who is really thinking about our current students and what's going to happen to them when they graduate is, I think, a really critical component to especially the students and the parents.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello, my name is Paul Murphy, Assistant Professor of Performing Arts Music, and I was hired in 2004, and I wanted to say a few things. We have a very small performing arts program. Under it, we have 3 emphases: music, dance, and theater. And I'm hoping the new president who comes in will be looking to expand the performing arts. Facilities have been quite a challenge in terms of space for classes. We're all vying for positions in very few rooms. So I'm really hoping the next president will be very excited about the live performing arts and growing our program. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Roberto Martinez. I'm with the Boys and Girls Club of Camarillo, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. Under Dr. Rush's leadership, there has been a high level of community service and active involvement from this campus community in the community as a whole. And I know it benefits the community greatly, and I feel it benefits the students as well. And I would like to see that relationship continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto.
Good afternoon. My name is Selena Zacarias, and I have the honor of serving as the campus's Director of Community and Government Relations since 2007. But when I make the following statement, I'm going to date myself. I've lived in Ventura County since 1969. I have seen this university come into fruition. I've seen it when it was a twinkle in someone's eye, and that eye happens to be the community. This next president, I would really like this individual, whether it's male or female, to please continue honoring the community's part in creating this university, because the community, even before I started working here, the university was constantly reaching out to the community. How can we partner? How can we help you create an amazing institution? And they've always been by our side, and that is extremely important, that this person realize that the community is why this university exists. It's the great work that we are doing in collaboration and in partnership, not only with our community partners here, but with our elected officials. President Rush, as long as I've been working with him, has been extremely well at being apolitical, which is very critical when we're seeking funding for a university. So this person has to be open to the community knocking on his door to say, I'm here, I have an idea. Can we talk? Whether this individual has not a single penny in their pocket, or they've got millions of dollars to donate to the university. President Rush has always been very good about that. Everyone belongs to this university because this university is their university. Thank you.
Thank you, Helena.
Haku to all. Greetings to all. I'd definitely like to, Selena, her remarks. She's just quite right. I've been at this campus for 35 years, this same facility here. So I kind of consider myself the campus elder. I don't think anybody's been here as long as me. And I also am a member of the Barbareno Ventureño Band of Mission Indians, the Chumash people, which this is Chumash land that this university is on. So as Selena says, you know, it's all about the community, because the community has been involved since day one. And I've always felt it's my charge to get the native community involved in a university and support this university. So I think the next president definitely should have a sense of humor, because Dr. Rush got a great sense of humor. You know, without humor, you know, there's times that, you know, we're stressed, we're doing a lot of work, and humor just calms everything down. And so with Dr. Rush, he's always been there with that sense of humor and that respect for all, that dignity for all. And, you know, anything that you feel you can say to him, you can say it. And it's fine to disagree, but you know what? Let's disagree, let's come up with a resolution and come up with a happy medium. So that's my personal, you know, with Dr. Rush. So I think this next president needs to do their homework and look back and see what got us to this point, because what got us to this point is that kind of dedication, that kind of attitude, that kind of respect for all. So that must continue without a doubt. Thank you.
Thank you, Riddell. I don't want to say speak now or forever hold your peace.
Still my life. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Colleen Harris Keith. I'm an assistant librarian and the campus coordinator for information literacy. Campus coordinator for information literacy, and an assistant librarian here at CI. And I just want to mention that here at CI, you can see the gorgeous library that's been built integrating the old one, and it's a beautiful space. Some places see the library as only a space and a collection, and this campus has done a really wonderful job under President Rush's leadership of actually making the library a real space for undergraduate research and interdisciplinary work, both with students and faculty. And it's a living space where we host community events, we host campus events, and so there's growth that comes out of the library. It's not just a static space for things. And I do hope that that's a tradition that'll be upheld by the next president. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Patty Mullins, and I am a proud parent of a Cal State University Channel Islands alumni who is working in our community. And I'm also the CEO of the Museum of Ventura County. And I'm very sad to see President Rush go, but I know there's good that comes with change, and he's worked very hard to create such a wonderful place in our community. I would really like to see that continue, as I've heard many colleagues in the community mention today. And I just want to put a plug in for STEAM. We hear a lot about engineering, and I think that's a wonderful thing, but I always want to throw in there the A for art and history. Yay, I have a little fan club. And we've started some very preliminary discussion with Dr. Resch about collaborating, and we've heard that as well today, with the museum and the university to share our great resources with our entire community. So one of his many strong and significant attributes is that community partnership, and we'd really love to see that continue in the next president. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Patty.
Good afternoon. My name is Sean Dahl. I'm a art student here, and prior to being here, I was a student at UC Santa Cruz, which has a strong focus in sustainability and regenerative agriculture. And I realized that at the moment we're sitting at a place literally in the middle of a large area of farm fields, and I'd like to see the university focus more on regenerative agriculture, using wildlife forestry and mimicking natural systems in order to minimize our impact on the environment so that we can get more done with less. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Hi, my name is Brian. I've been coming here for 2 years. I'm a transfer student. And as a potential graduate, I have a vested interest in the academic reputation of the school remaining high. And just in my very limited experience with it, I've seen that there's a lot of grade inflation and the academic standards have been slipping somewhat. And I feel like the next president should try to keep standards high, be not afraid to make people try a few times to pass a class and such, and not just pass everybody through as soon as their check clears. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Shani Rodrigo. I am a junior here. I'm a communication major and global studies minor. And one of the things that I would like to see new within Cal State Channel Islands is a better development in the language program. As a global studies minor, we are required to do a study abroad trip of some kind, and that also requires 2 years of a language. And we have a beautiful international program here on campus. But we don't have as great of a language. We only have, Arabic and Spanish and French. But, me wanting to go to a place like Germany, I have to go to Moore Park or Ventura to do that. So I think it would be really great if we had a more well-developed language program here on campus to support such an amazing international program as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We've heard a good deal this afternoon from students and from staff, not so much from faculty. I know that it can't be because you're shy.
Maybe they're all teaching, Larry.
Anything further? Okay.
I can't believe the faculty are being closed-mouthed. I'm math faculty, and I'm the director of the Center for Integrative Studies. And I was hesitant to come up because I feel like there's so much to say that it's hard for me to pick the thing that I want to highlight.
Well, highlight them all. Mention them all.
How long do you all have? It's still 3, right?
We have another hour.
So a lot of people have said a lot of the things that I would like to echo about pathways for transfer success, reaching out into the community, helping high school students prepare themselves, creating campus faculty and staff and administration that reflect the demographics of the community. I love the sustainable agriculture thing. That was great. The thing that I haven't heard is something about not getting, I feel like our president needs to have the ability to fight to maintain developing an intellectual community on campus in the face of all of the metrics that higher education is increasingly having to provide. And I have no idea how you might discover that from an interview, but I think that is perhaps the #1 threat to higher education at the moment. It's just getting buried in administration.
Thank you, Catherine.
Hi, my name is Christian Ramos, and I am a second year here at Channel Islands. Last year, I had the honor of receiving the Presidential Scholarship, and obviously, I appreciate the monetary value of that. But beyond that, just having the opportunity to meet Dr. Rush and Dr. Evans in the second week of my first year at college was a great opportunity. And the sort of networking possibilities have really helped shape my experience here at college. Going into college, I kind of felt like it was just something to do, to go to class, go to school, get my degree, and then head out. But now that I sort of have a relationship with the president and having these networking opportunities, I see that my education here, or my experience here at CI, can go beyond academics. And there are more possibilities that the university can offer me, and even more so that I can offer to this university. And it would be great to have money next year too, but I think possible recipients of this scholarship could benefit just like I have, and it would be great to meet them too, and all of us to grow together and be a part of the community as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian.
I'm Dennis Downey. I'm a faculty member in sociology. And one of the things I'm very proud of in working with the Cal State system is our emphasis on access with excellence. And I think we do a very, very good job with access. Actually, I was pleased to hear the student a few moments ago mention the issue of essentially excellence. I think that's one we really need to keep our eye on. I think we're, with the mix of opportunities and constraints we have in the system, I think we do very well with access, but I think we need to really focus on making sure that what the students receive when they leave the university is really useful for serving them and for serving the community that we're so closely related with. So I want to make sure that the president that comes in really has that in focus. There's certainly a tension to some extent, certainly not a zero-sum game or zero-sum game between access and excellence, but there are some tensions. I think we can, really maximize both. So I would like to see that as an emphasis for the president coming in. The other thing that I'd bring up, I think we have a real pride here at CI, being still a new university, and we have an identity that's kind of as a startup university still. We have a real pride in, a saying you hear a lot here is, we build it while we float it, build it while we fly it, something along those lines, which is true. And I think that ability to improvise and to innovate is wonderful. But I'd love to see us too, at this point, kind of move beyond that constant improvisation to really, get to the nuts and bolts and make sure that the processes are moving smoothly. So I think that's something that I see anyway coming up quite often is some of the processes you expect to be, a bit rocky coming in are still, this far down the line, still a bit rocky. I think one of the things that the President Rush always made sure faculty understood when they came here is that, hey, it's a startup and you need to be ready to, again, improvise and innovate. And so I think we all have that spirit, but I think at this point it would be great to move, a little beyond that in some ways. So those would be a couple of things that I'd love to see the president keep right in focus. Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis. Last call. Exactly. Thank you.
Hi, I am Mark Canlin. This is my 4th year here. I am a math major. And just similar to Professor Leonard, I also have a lot of things, but I think I'll just choose to focus on one to really emphasize it, and that is the caringness. This still acts like a small university, even though it's not. You know, it's not. Like, people say, please, thank you, they get to know each other. That's something that as the university's grown, and again, I've been here 4 years, and the university's doubled, more than doubled in those 4 years. But the fact that we still have this, it means that it takes a lot of work. And I want our next president to be someone who's willing to work on that. Otherwise, it will be gone for good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Yes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Channel Islands. It's so nice to see all of you here. I want us to all remember that student-centeredness that we've lived and breathed for so long, and I would like the committees to know that student-centeredness really means something on our campus, and like this last gentleman's comments, that caring, that compassion, that personability, I think is so important. What is wonderful about our current president is that he is able to see life from a student's perspective. And whether we're faculty, we're staff, we're the community, we need to keep that in mind that we serve a purpose here. And that purpose is to educate students. And so we need to understand a student's need. And whether that's in the classroom, that's after graduation, whatever it might be, we need a president who understands how to be a student. And I think if they have that capability, they'll know that strong leadership is the way to accomplish everything that we need to do on this campus. And what we need is not necessarily one program, one idea, one this. We need to invest here or there. What we need is an individual that can bring us all together in a friendly way to encourage growth and positive action for students. So I think what we're looking for is a president who continues to be that great communicator, and we heard it a few times today already. But that is really important because we all have different ideas. But being able to bring us together for the betterment of the student is really what it's about.
Thank you, Tanya.
Hi, my name is Brianna Linares. I am a CI alumni, currently a CI graduate student, and I also am the assistant to the chief of police here on campus. So I've seen a lot of different facets of the university, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it, and hopefully one day I can maybe even be a faculty member. So I would hope that the next president would make all of us feel like we're special, like President Rush has done. Starting as a student and working my way up to a staff member, he's always made us feel like each and every one of us matters. And I would hope that the next president would do the same. And I'm just so thankful that I have this community and every single one of these people here. Even though I don't know every single one of them, I feel like we've all made an impact on each other's lives, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I forgot to mention one thing. My name is Leslie, and one other thing that I would like the next president to be aware of is the undocumented students here on our campus. Our representative of our Dreamers Club is not here today, so I had to speak on her behalf. And as undocumented students here on campus, we need to have faculty and people in leadership positions know about all the legislative, I don't know how to say it, and be aware that the undocumented students here have a voice and they are here to get educated and not treat them in a way that is demeaning and unhumanizing.
Thank you, Leslie.
Hi, I'm Julia Levi. I work in advancement as our donor relations and stewardship person. And one of the things that Dr. Rush has been so passionate about is being sure that we tell the story of our students to our donors. He's very persistent in making sure that they understand what they're giving to. They're not just giving $1 to the university, but they're giving hope to someone's dreams. And so the next president needs to embody what it means to go and hear the stories of our students and also communicate them back to the community at large.
Thank you, Julie. Anyone else? Well, if not, as you heard at the outset, there is a website where you can submit further comments, and all of those will in time be brought to the attention of the committee. I want to thank you all for taking the time to be here this afternoon. I want to thank the members of the committee. I know they appreciate what a serious charge they have before them in selecting the next president at Channel Islands. And if there is no further business, the committee will adjourn to its closed session. Thank you all again. Thank you. Yes, yes.
Next to you at all the meetings.